Hi everybody, I'm Sherry and welcome back to my channel, Sherry Jones Designs. In today's video, I'm going to show you something really fun that I'm working on, and I can already think of a couple ways to use it. Let me show you. I've been working with denim a lot lately. Look how fun this is. I'm turning it into a skirt, and we're going to work on it together a little bit. I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. So I've been working on it, and I kind of like, is it a skirt or was I going to make it into a top? I think it would be cute as both. I'm going to show you how I'm doing it and all of its lovely possibilities, and then we'll experience the final results at the end of this video. But I do want you to see what could happen to your space if you do this. Look at my floor. It's destroyed. I have just pieces everywhere. The studio is a mess. Incredible. You wouldn't think one project could be so messy, but this one is. Partly because I had to sort through so much. And there are some who are sad that I'm using my Singer and I'm using this machine instead of this machine. And the reason why I love my Bernina, I really do. You who've expressed concern over my Bernina being gone, it's just on break. I love my Bernina. It's probably my favorite machine if I just had to pick one. But my Singer, I got it working so good right now. And it just absolutely has no problem with denim. Like, if I put a big denim needle in it, I rarely break it, and I can just go and go and go. So if you're a person who's going to work up a lot of denim, I definitely suggest the Singer Heavy Duty that I have, or one of the versions. And because, oh my gosh, you can just go through denim so easy. I love it. That's why I'm able to go through these heavy seams. I mean, some of these are 8 or more layers, and I'm able to do piecework and patchwork with denim and just go right through all those heavy seams. These are waistband pieces, and I'm going to show you where I got all these from. Now, you could go, of course, you could go to your thrift stores, even ask for things they're throwing away because you're cutting them up. They might give you a bag for really cheap. You say, hey, can you save me a bag of any unusable denims that come through the door, and I will pay for those. I would gladly buy those. You know, maybe they'll give them to you at a discount. I think this is a great way just to use up jeans that are unusable otherwise. Now I'm going to show you why I have so many pieces. The reason I have so many pieces of denim is because I make these. I make these sometimes 3 and 4 a day. And they're the front of a pair of jeans. Kids' jeans work really well for this because everything's kind of shrunk down. You get more detail. So if you're going to make one of these, I will link the tutorial to the video on how to make these below. But basically, it uses up a pair of jeans front and back. Now you can use shorts. This is a pair of shorts, tie-dye type shorts. And then you use the back for this piece. And I show you how to do that in the video. And this is actually one of my best sellers. So if you're on, you sell on Etsy or you sell locally, this might be something that you would be interested in making. I will tell you a problem with making them is I do tend to drop the sides down too low. So I've been being really careful about that to make sure I don't do that. And that's because you cut sometimes too much of the denim and it lowers the whole thing. So I've learned that it's got to be like 15 inches from here to here and not much taller. And then try to give some adjustable straps because if you're large in the bust, of course it's going to push it out. But anyways, that's another story. This is the reason why I've been making a lot of these. And so I have these side pieces that have like belt loop, belt loop parts of the pocket area and stuff. So that's what I'm working up into this denim skirt. Now I think that you could really make some fun denim, like a fun denim top. And I'm going to show you that idea next. So one of the things I noticed right away is I have a very nice curve to it, okay? And that's because the waistbands themselves are curved. If you want it to be not as full, you're going to have to use the whole back of a jean where the waistband is straighter. Because on a pair of jeans, it's straight across the back and then it dips down on the front. And I'm ending up with almost all the pieces that dip on the front. I'll show you what those pieces look like. So this is an example of one of the pieces on the front I would cut off. because I'm taking that middle part out, I get a piece of a pocket, piece of this pocket, scraggly bits, and then because on the back I'm cutting down and I'm taking off the back piece. But I get these little random pieces, and I thought, you know, how cute to just sew them together. But some of them are longer because the jeans would be bigger, so I have more of an arch in them and more of an angle here. Imagine that with your waistband as straps up and over, or that fine, or the seam you cut off from the middle of the jeans, the hard seam, as straps. And then imagine that as a crop top with a pair of jean shorts. Like, I think that would be really cute in a pair of street shoes. But now as a skirt, which is what I'm going for. Let's see if I can get her fully in the picture. It's going to look something like that. I have to make it smaller because she's really small. Because all your belt loops, by sewing those together, I've got all these little belt loops around the top with any little leather patches. And it actually has some fullness to it as well, which is going to be really cute. And that's what I've decided to do, to add any little buttons and embellishments. And I'm going to put a zipper on it. When I'm all done and I decide which way is the front, I have a zipper that I'm just going to sew in place and cut open, so you can just put it on like a regular denim skirt. All I'm doing is I took a waistband, like something like one of these. This is two hooked together here, and I just hooked it together. I laid it in place, clipped it where I want the center to go. And of course, you want to make sure your waist is the right measurement. You're going to measure that for yourself. And then I clipped it off and I pinned it in place like that. And I'm going to sew it in place, and then I'll just fill this all in and add my zipper later on. And this one's not finished on top, so I have to be careful not to zip it off. Okay, so let's talk thread. The thread that I'm using is a stronger thread meant for denim. It's like you really got to pull it to get it to snap. This is a regular sewing thread. It's still pretty strong, but it's not near as strong. You could hear the snap in that. Now, I did buy this off of Amazon, but I did see that it is for sale also on Temu. I bought this thinking it was this on Temu though, and they didn't send me the jean color. This is the color that the picture showed. This is what they sent me. So you have to be really careful, but I have noticed something even on Temu. And I don't know if this applies to all serger thread, but the green in the middle, if I buy the green, it's stronger. So I don't know if that's just a manufacturer company or if they are color coded, because I have a black thread that I bought, and see, it's green, a different color green, but it's also super strong. It's thicker when you go to use it. It's thick. I really like this thread because some of your threads they just don't stack up. I've got, let's see here. Here's an example. This is a white, and I thought, well, maybe colored cones. But see, it's not near as strong. It's just not near as strong, it's meant to be a serger. A serger thread is a 2-ply thread, and a regular sewing thread has three plies. I'm not sure. Let me see if it says in here. This is a 2-ply. It's just a really strong thread. And I noticed that this one was advertised as thick. And it is thicker in my machine, even in the tensioner. Like, I can tell it's thicker. And through my needles when I go to thread it. So there is a difference in threads, even if it's 2-ply. This is stronger than, because I have some 3-ply sewing thread. Let's see here. Like these. This is strong and durable. Okay, and when it pops as easy as this one. Now, this is getting older, so maybe that has somewhat to do with that. But I find that a good serger thread is stronger than your actual sewing threads. Okay, now that we've covered thread, you want to use a good strong thread because denim, you know, denim is strong and heavy. So, and I'm using a small straight stitch on it. And then you want to use in your machine a denim needle, a heavy, heavy needle. And then you're all good. You're all set to go. All right, we're going to thread up our machine. If for some reason your machine struggles or is having trouble, just try rethreading it. Sometimes we get on the wrong side of the tensioner on some of these machines, especially the older ones. It's easy to get your thread on the wrong side of the tensioner. And we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, the other thing you're going to want, let me see if I can find mine, is something that's kind of thick. At least you can try using a button's not really bad. This works, but if you don't have one of these, half clothespin actually works really well because you've got that angle. So if you're going through something really, really thick, you can scoot up to this height. You can go back down. And what I mean by scooting up to heights, here, I'm going to get my threads out of the way. What I mean by scooting up to heights is, see this difference here? I've got to come up on that. Now, if your machine can't go up or goes down too fast, it can break your needle pretty easy. So the best thing to do is, like, if I'm going to start here, right here to sew this on, and I've got to come up that hump, is I'll start my needle in the high part, and then I'm going to take my height adjuster and put it on the back side of my foot like that, so that this foot here is level. Now it just thinks it's sewing straight across, and it's not struggling to push it uphill. It's not going to bend my needle and break it. Or at least I have a better chance of it not doing that. And what we're going to do is, once it doesn't need it, I'll remove it. I think I can just unbutton this now that I've got it in place. I'm going to sew out to where I want it. And there's going to be a lot of pulling on this, so I definitely want to make sure this is tacked in really good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going through 10 layers of denim right here at least. Now see, I've got a slant back there again. It's got to try to climb that hill. So if any help you can give it is going to give it a chance. And go slow, because a needle can break and sometimes throw. And I do wear glasses for this. I wear reading glasses, but if you've got a pair of safety glasses, because if you hit that hard enough, these machines have very powerful motors. That's how it knocks itself out of a line. I wasn't able to use it for a long time. I just couldn't figure out how to fix it. But what you want to do is make sure that if that needle breaks, it does not go in your eye. And I'm going to very slowly, I'm just going to put a few extra stitches here because this is going to be pulled on a lot. Okay. Now here, see, I'm going up an angle again. I'm just going to watch, make sure I don't go up at too much of an angle so my needle doesn't bend. Now you can trim out some of these double layerings if you want to. If your machine is struggling, just trim off any extra denim that you might not need. Okay, so I got another angle again. Let's use a clothespin this time. The clothespin, see how much higher that is? The clothespin, I can adjust it. I'll shove it in there and show you, but I can choose my height with the clothespin. It actually works really well, and I use it a lot. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Got that one sewn in. Now that I've learned how to set the tension on this, when it gets itself knocked out of alignment, I definitely recommend this machine to anybody that's looking for just a simple machine that can do a lot. It still has stitch selection, and there are several models. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I've got it buttoned here so I don't put the zipper in the wrong place. And get this like it's going to lay. And what I'll do is once I get it to lay straight, I'm going to have to sew this first because those pins are kind of messing with me. Once I get it all laid out flat like it would go, is I'm going to put this zipper and just pin it in place here. I kind of like the idea of it being on top here somehow. I don't even care if two raw edges meet, but I want it in the center of that button like that. And then I will just put some pins in it and just simply sew it in place. Because there is a flare to it, it's going to keep flaring way out though. I'm actually going to end somewhere here, shorter, and put it up sort of a, you know, a punk sort of. I love all the details. Look at all the eye candy in that. Just so many denim details. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye. Happy sewing.